Hello, good morning, and welcome to Dawn Busters Taste Challenge. I have two 40% alcohol blended Scotch whiskies with no age statement. This is WD Liquors blended Scotch whiskey. WD Winn-Dixie, founded in 1955. This is sold exclusively at Winn-Dixie stores, now owned by Aldi since 2024. Handled by the Sazerac Company for this whiskey production, bottled in Kentucky at Buffalo Trace, you would think, because they told me that's where they do most of their bottling. It says Wide World Importers, which I guess is the division that handles the Winn-Dixie brands. And it also says Sazerac.com, so we know it's Sazerac. All right. They're running it for $16.99 right now over there for this handle, which is extremely cheap. And I got to say, this product lives up to its price point, or lives down to it, because it ain't too enjoyable. Okay. It's kind of pale, though. Looks like they're not adding coloring, which would make sense since that would cost money. And this is a super discount product. Now, the Glen Logie, there's no, that's the competitive. Glen Logie, it says on the back, Hay and MacLeod Limited, distilled, blended, and bottled in Scotland by Hay and MacLeod, but they're actually under the control of Witt and Mackay. So it's a Witt and Mackay brand, actually, but it's made for Total Wine & More. It's one of their private labels. So we got two private label Scotch whiskies. It's a little darker here, you know. Dawn Buster. Yeah, Dawn Busters. Okay, so bottled in Scotland. All right. It was $9.99 when I bought it, but the price has gone up with everything else. You're going to get a better deal buying the handle, the big bottle. So they're only showing one size now. I guess they changed their format. It's only the handle, and it's $22.99. Yeah, it's pretty cheap. $6 difference between these two. 99 divided by 1750 times 750. 985. So you can get it close to the same price per ounce that I paid. Although back when I bought it, it was probably $7.99 per 750. All right, so it's pretty nice though. You ever notice that go to Total Wine & More, their private label brands all sort of look alike? I mean, it's a pretty picture with the Glen Logie there in the background. But they must have one commercial art studio that they hired to do all their labels. No, I mean, it's just like a single studio, because they follow like a style, and they kind of stand out. Like when you're at their store, you can say like, oh yeah, it must be private labels, because not to mention the fact that they usually identify them by calling it Spirits Direct. Although some Spirits Direct products I don't think are private labels, because like Canadian Lake has been around longer than Total Wine & More. That Canadian whiskey is older than, or about the same age, 1992, and other stores carry it, but it might have been relegated now. It could have been relegated to Total Wine as a private label with an agreement. They might have made an agreement with Sazerac that they would, going forward, it would only be sold there. So it could be that, they could have made that decision. I don't see why not. Oh, that's that weird caramel candy aroma. That's strange. And I don't get that aroma here. It's just a straight, standard Scotch whiskey aroma. But neither one is like fabulous. But let's go with the taste. I don't think Scotch whiskey is supposed to taste like caramel candy. Not the salted part. Caramel candies are salted, but minus the salt is very strange. Let's go over here. Bread from the single malt corn from the corn. Peatiness, nah. Smokiness, forget it. Just standard basic. But is it good basic? I think so. I read some reviews that are really ripping on it, talking about how horrible it was, but I didn't agree. I think it's fine. I wouldn't be bragging on it. I knew what I was getting, $9.99, but I wouldn't avoid it. Even I think if you bought the whole handle, you wouldn't be wasting money. Just something standard. This one here, I would never recommend this. It does not taste right. It's not a definitively bad taste. So I'm giving it a 70. A 72, because it does have a little peatiness in the nose, like peat from the ground, the dirt, the earth. But beyond that, it's a loser. And anyway, let's be honest. If something is a C minus, may as well be an F, right? It just assume be an F because you're never going to buy it again. It's like you're not going to go buy it a second time. So no matter what the price, right? Even if somebody gave it to you, you wouldn't want it. You'd be like, oh, thanks. That was nice of you to give this to me. And then you're trying to figure out what to do with it. It was nice for them to give it to you, but they probably didn't realize how bad WD Liquors blended Scotch whiskey really is. But anyway, it is what it is. I don't think I'm going to get it wrong throughout the whole series, but you never want to become overconfident. All right, well, y'all take care, and I'll talk to y'all later. Bye-bye.